Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As we have discussed the two major post-fertilization changes, that is development of endosperm and development of embryo. Now we will take up the development of seed and fruit, which are the products of sexual reproduction. We will see this seed. Seed is a ripened ovule, while as fruit is a ripened ovary. And after maturation, after ripening, ovule gets converted into seed, while as ovary gets converted into a fruit. And we also know fertilization provides the stimulus for the formation of zygote. Fertilization produces zygote, it provides the stimulus for the formation of zygote. And in angiosperms we have seen, there is double fertilization, and this double fertilization produces two structures, a diploid zygote and a triploid primary endosperm nucleus. The double fertilization produces two structures, a diploid zygote, which is the product of synegamy or true fertilization, and triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is the result of triple fusion or vegetative fertilization. The later, that is this primary endosperm nucleus, it gives rise to nutritive tissue called endosperm, which provides food to the developing embryo and also to the developing seedling. While as the zygote, it forms embryo. The zygote forms embryo, and primary endosperm nucleus forms the mature endosperm or secondary endosperm, which provides food to the developing embryo. With the growth of the embryo, when the embryo is growing, with the growth of the embryo, central part of the endosperm is consumed. It is consumed or it is eaten up. The suspensor of the embryo it is inserted into the endosperm, like we see in plants, root is inserted into the soil. This suspensor, it gets food from the central part of the endosperm, and when it gets food, the central part of the endosperm, it is consumed. And when central part of the endosperm is consumed, the endosperm, and the endosperm which remains there, that is the outer endosperm, it corrodes over the embryo. The remaining part of the endosperm, it corrodes over the embryo. And when embryo development reaches its maturity, and what we can say, when embryo development is completed, when it reaches its maturity, it is further development gets stopped due to some factors. And when embryo development reaches maturity, that is, it is completed, its further growth is suspended due to development of some factors. Number first thing, that is development of some inhibitors which do not allow further growth of the embryo. Number second is abscission of funicle or funiculus. The stalk of the ovule, it is connected with the body of the ovary, with the ovary wall through funicle. In the body of the ovule, it is connected with the ovary wall by connective abscission of the funicle takes place, funiculus takes place. And also third change is that is change in the integuments. Change in the integuments takes place. And three things happen here, three changes take place here. Development of some inhibitors, we do not allow further growth of the embryo, and abscission of the funiculus. When the abscission of the funiculus takes place, so the food supply will be stopped to the embryo, so its further growth will not take place. And also change in the integuments, change in the integuments. The cells of the integuments, cells of the integuments enlarge. Cells of the integuments enlarge, lose their protoplasm. First they enlarge, then they lose their protoplasm, that is living part of the cell, develop thick and impermeable walls. Impermeable walls. And the cells of the integuments they enlarge, lose their protoplasm, develop thick and impermeable walls. We know generally we have two integuments. The outer integument, the outer integument becomes hard, and feathery, becomes hard and feathery, and forms the outer seed coat called testa. With the outer integument, it becomes hard and feathery and develops the outer seed coat that is called testa. That is called testa. And the outer seed coat, outer integument, it becomes hard and feathery and forms the outer seed coat that is called testa. That is called testa. The inner integument, if persists, inner integument, if persists, that means it is not present in all the seeds. Inner integument, if persists, forms the inner seed coat that is called tegmen. And if we have two seed coats, testa and tegmen, the outer integument it produces hard and feathery or leathery layer called testa, and the inner integument, if persists, forms the inner seed coat that is called tegmen. With this, ovule gets converted, gets transformed into seed. And now we can see that this ovule has been converted into a seed. Now we cannot call it as ovule. It is a ripened ovule. That ripened ovule is called a seed. And with this ovule is transformed, gets transformed into seed. That means we have produced the seed. We know this ovule, it is found within the ovary. It is found within the ovary. When this ovule gets transformed into the seed, the tissues of the ovary wall also get stimulated. The tissues of the ovary wall, they also get stimulated to grow with the development of the seed. They also grow with the development of the seed. It produces a fruit wall, and this ovary produces a fruit wall or pericarp. It produces a fruit wall or pericarp, fruit wall which we also call as pericarp. And with this fruit gets formed. And generally the growth of the fruit is generally very fast, and though it starts later, but its growth is very fast. With the result, as soon as seeds are formed, fruit is formed before the seeds, fruit gets formed. And this fruit which is produced from the ovary, that this fruit is called true fruit. This fruit is called true fruit. Sometimes other parts of the flower, like thalamus and other floral parts like calyx, sometimes corolla, they also take part in the formation of the fruit. They also proliferate along with the pericarp. Along with the pericarp, they also proliferate. They also grow with the growth of the this ovary, and they also form a part of the fruit. Such fruits are called phallus fruits. Such fruits are called phallus fruits, and which are produced from any part of the this flower, any part of the flower other than ovary, they are called phallus fruits. Now we have seen for the formation of fruit, two stimuli are needed, and for the formation of fruit, two stimuli are involved in the formation of fruit. The first stimuli comes from pollination, and second stimuli comes from the developing seeds. And when pollination takes place, this ovary wall, it gets stimulus that it has to do something, that it has to produce a future product of the sexual reproduction, that we call as seed and fruit, that we call as fruit. And when seed gets produced, it gets the second stimulus that it has to produce something. When when ovule gets transformed into seed, so it gets transformed into fruit wall or pericarp. This is the development of the seed and fruit. Let's repeat this. This seed is a ripened ovule, while fruit is a ripened ovary. Fertilization provides the stimulus for the formation of zygote. In angiosperms, double fertilization produces two structures, a diploid zygote and a triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Later gives rise to a nutrient tissue called the endosperm. Zygote forms embryo, while endosperm provides nourishment to the growing embryo. With the growth of the embryo, the central part of the endosperm is consumed up. Endosperm in turn then in the remaining part of the endosperm in turn corrodes over the nucleus. As the embryo reaches maturity, its further growth is suspended due to the development of inhibitors, abscission of funiculus, and change in the integuments. The cells of the integuments enlarge, lose their protoplasm, develop thick and impermeable walls. The outer integument becomes hard and leathery and forms the outer seed coat called a testa. The inner integument effuses forms the inner seed coat called tegumen. With this, ovule gets transformed into seed. The tissues of the ovary wall but also gets stimulated to grow with the development of the seed. It produces the fruit wall or pericarp. The growth of the fruit is generally very fast. In some cases, thalamus and other fruit parts also proliferate along with the pericarp. Such fruits are called false fruits. And the fruits which are produced from only ovary, they are called true fruits, while the fruits which are produced from other parts of the flower, they are called false fruits. Two types of stimuli are involved in fruit formation. The first stimuli comes from pollination, while the second stimuli is received from developing seeds. This is all for today. Thank you.